Where am I?
What's everybody? It's Arthur.
Hi.
We're doing it. Arthur, I have a question.
Excuse me, I was swallowing coffee.
I forgive you. This is not a question. I just realized. So, Marvel has been a big deal for, I don't know, 8 decades at this point. And people, particularly the actors in the films, they're dressing up as their characters and like visiting children in hospitals, which I think is good. I'm on board, right? But when you're a kid and you get visited, like they're not visiting people for broken arms. That's like, like Captain America might as well be the Grim Reaper at this point. The MCU is only going to the ICU.
Yeah, it's like you ever read those stories about the cats who will predict who's gonna die in an old folks' home?
Oh yeah,
They'll lay on top of or lie on top of an old person, and then
yeah,
a day later they're dead. And presumably that's because like the person who's about to die, they are producing more body heat.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that is essentially
It's the
what
canary
Chris
in the coal
Hemsworth has
mine.
become. Yeah.
Can you imagine you're just like in a hospital and Iron Man shows up and you're like, ah, fuck. I don't got much left to live and I gotta deal with Robert Downey Jr. for the rest of my life.
You just hope he's coming to the kid next to you. Take him. I'm not ready.
Just like you correlate it so whoever they visit is who's gonna die. You switch the names. It's like a fucked up version of Death Note. Maybe, I don't know.
I recently read an extremely long synopsis of Death Note, so
Okay.
I think that's accurate.
All right.
You also got me thinking about little terminally ill Nazi children being visited by the Red Skull.
You're a child soldier in World War II, and the Red Skull visits you with a bullet wound in your liver.
It's the greatest day of your life.
I mean, that would be sick, though. Just when you're, I guess it's the same as Captain America. It's the same thing, but for Hitler.
Yeah, two
it's
sides of the same coin.
The embodiment of exactly what you want, but mutated in a superhuman fashion.
Yeah, instead of becoming extremely strong, he becomes a skull.
Extremely hateful.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be a skull? You know that saying, like, there's a spooky skeleton inside you at all times? It's a common saying. People say it.
Yeah, totally.
People say it. Look, folks.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
All right.
You're projecting.
I am projecting. I'm very insensitive. That's not what that means. The thing is, like, there's not a spooky skeleton inside you at all times. I thought that was the case for a long time, but like, I'm just my brain. I'm inside the spooky skeleton. Calls coming from inside the house.
Damn. That's fucked up. I hate that. I hate this prison. This bone prison.
I am in a bone prison.
So
maybe go ahead.
I'm just, they keep finding like trepanned skulls from farther and farther back in history, or like just people have just been cutting holes in their own heads.
Yeah.
For millennia. They had the right idea. That's freedom.
Yeah. It really makes me just like living in society. I'm just like, I wish I knew like Jeffrey Dahmer when he was like drilling holes in people's heads and just like pouring acid in there.
Yeah.
In his prime. In an alternate reality, Jeffrey Dahmer and Jeffrey Bezos, same person. It's they're not that different, right? Jeff, come on the cast, defend yourself.
Which one?
Dahmer or otherwise. I think Jeffrey Dahmer died in 1994.
Yeah, he was killed with a pipe, right? In
Yeah,
prison.
yeah, that sounds right.
Probably the most humane way it was going to end.
I think he liked it. It was probably consensual.
I mean, who knows with this guy?
He's a
Some of this
wild
guy's,
man.
some of his tastes,
Yeah. Weird, eclectic guy.
weird, wild stuff.
Real quirky. Imagine if Jeffrey Dahmer had like a Tinder bio. Not a whole profile, just the bio.
I wouldn't want to see it, I think, because it would probably make me self-conscious about my own.
Is too similar.
Too similar. Yeah, too much overlap.
That's fair.
Did you ever see the My Friend Dahmer movie?
I have not seen. I've seen The Ringer.
Hmm. Okay. So both about people with, to repeat myself, some weird, wild stuff going on.
It's true. In The Ringer, Johnny Knoxville's character name is Jeffy Dahmer.
Hmm.
In case you forgot, it's a great movie.
Every time I hear a detail about that movie, it makes it sound better than I assume it is.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen The
Oh, it's
Ringer.
incredible. I saw it in theaters, 2003. I was 11. And Johnny Knoxville and Brian Cox illegally and erroneously sign up for the Special Olympics.
I remember the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
Even at the time, I remember thinking, I was surprised it got made.
Yeah, it's a little out there. Because, that movie's been seared into my cranium, my
That and
amygdala.
Let's Go to Prison. Those are in your
Yeah.
letterboxed
Yeah.
top five.
Just those two are the top five. And then sixth is Without a Paddle.
I keep editing my top five on Letterboxd because I keep changing my mind about what order, like what is the funniest order of Police Academy movies to have in to comprise the entire top five.
Yeah.
I keep going back and forth between it being the first five and the last five.
It should be a smattering, I think. Like top one should be Police Academy 4, which is correct.
You're throwing a curveball. Is it? I have not seen. I think maybe
I've seen none of them.
I think maybe I saw like one of them. One of them might have been PG-13, and I was not allowed to watch like R-rated movies. But I really loved The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
That's why I saw RoboCop 3 before any of the other RoboCops, which I believe was co-written by Frank Miller.
Who was in Police Academy, probably. What if Frank Miller directed Police Academy 3 only? Just a stark departure.
I think it would have gone a little something like this. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't.
I can envision it in my head. It's all in black and white, cell shaded.
There definitely would have been tits in it, which would have precluded me from seeing it.
You weren't allowed?
Lord, no.
I saw Scary Movie 1 in theaters. That was 2000. And it's 2000.
8?
I would have been 8, yeah. It's 2000 because they parodied The Matrix, which came out in 99. That's how you know.
So they parodied The Matrix, so it either came out in anywhere from 2000 to 2015.
Yep. But the first one was 2000, and that's the parody Scream, which to this day I have not seen any of. And I only recall a dick going through someone's brain in a glory hole. Saw that in theaters. Well, spoiler alert. I saw that in theaters when I was 8, and I also saw the South Park movie in theaters. Got in a lot of trouble for that one.
Damn, you guys really you do it different up there. The Great White
Yeah,
North.
I grew up in a very small town, and you had to leave town to go to the movie theater, so it was a big deal. I don't know
We
what that
had
means.
2 movie theaters in my town.
Okay, Hollywood over here.
Hmm. The good one and the bad one.
Was it illegal for people who attend the bad one to
Well,
go to the good one?
they were both porno theaters,
Okay,
but one of them was gross.
right. Real bad popcorn there. They didn't get the recipe right.
Yeah,
I
totally
assume
unpopped.
that's yeah, but you can't be doing that. What does that mean? They just give you unpopped kernels in a bag. Like you pop it yourself.
Yeah, DIY. You got to bring your own microwave.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, that
It's not
sucks.
cost effective at all.
It's not even that expensive to make pop. It's kind of a famously high return food
Yeah,
item,
it's still $14.
and that was the good theater.
Uh, that's good. I'm happy for you. I had to I had to travel in a vehicle for about 20 minutes to go to the movies.
Oh well, both of the movie theaters are about 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, but mine was in a different town. Also, there was a sign in the way. You have to
Oh
read the
no.
sign. You had to read the sign, and it's like I'm going to the movies. I'm not trying to read here. Is this a book?
Um,
Ridiculous.
that damn Canadian bureaucracy at its worst.
A lot of red tape. They didn't even have an arcade. Um, if
No.
if someone would like to just like delve way too deep into my upbringing and my reality, the movie theater that I went to growing up was shaped like a UFO. So if you find that, knowing what you know about my life, don't look it up. Don't look it up on cast on mic. I don't
I'm
know if that's a
not.
common thing. I'm gonna look it up as well. There's a few. You could find which one. If you listen to the Christmas episode that we just put out recently, you'll have an even better idea.
Laval.
Are you looking
I'm
in
just looking.
California?
No, this is in Quebec.
I did not.
Idiot.
I did not grow up in Quebec.
I thought I sensed a distinct French accent.
They don't have that in Quebec. They don't speak real French.
Uh,
I don't know if Americans know that.
tell that to Jean Lejoie.
I wish I could. I wish
Is
I had
he
his phone number.
is he a Canadian national treasure? Is he? You guys
He's
talk
up
about him?
there.
Yeah.
I don't know if people talk about him, but you know, if we watch the league, we're like, hey, that that dude, he made Everyday Normal Guy 3. He said the N word in Everyday Normal Crew. That was 2011. Way too late to be doing that, dude. I mean, it's not like
For
Joe
that
Biden
reason.
said it in 1978. Like this was Joe Biden said it on the House floor. Don't talk to me about voting for Kanye. Kanye has actually said it most recently, probably. Actually,
You think
probably
so?
not. Probably not because of his religious turn. He's
Yeah.
done secular music for almost 3 years now.
And as Joe Biden's mind goes backwards in time, as it's sort of his skull, his sort of brain cage is like the compartment from Primer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, where it's going backwards as we go forward. So I think as time goes on, Kanye West becomes less likely to say the N-word, and Joe Biden becomes extremely likely to say it.
The thing with like dementia and amnesia, not amnesia, but Alzheimer's, it seems they never forget that they're racist. They will
That's a
forget their
really good
children's
point.
names, but
They
like
forget how to
you give
breathe.
them a black nurse and they're like, excuse me, I have some words.
I have one word in particular.
Yeah. Um, and they will say it. They have no problem saying it. And then they'll be like, I have children? I'm 13. I've been 13 my entire life. But if you go back like 15 years before they have Alzheimer's, I forget the bit that I was going to do. I got too distracted by my 13 bit.
I'm distracted by how many movie theaters there are that are shaped like UFOs. I am blown away.
I really thought it wasn't that many. I looked it up. It's kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
It is the closest UFO-shaped movie theater to the town of Snowball, population 590.
Wow.
I assume. I have to assume that that's true because I lived very close to that town, and that's the movie theater that we went to.
That I cannot believe there is. I mean, I guess I can. I'm from Oregon. Has some of the like some really strange town names. So I guess Snowball is not
Snowball is fine.
comparatively that strange.
It
There's a
was
town
named after a snowball.
like a historical snowball. Do they still have it? Like the Liberty Bell?
Yeah, it's in the freezer of the church.
The church rec room.
You cannot touch it. There's just a little post-it note, a little folded note card that's like, do not touch. Titular snowball. Namesake. I believe the town. I read the entire Wikipedia page like 2 weeks ago on Cast on Mike. I think it was the town started because there was a snowball fight there, so they named the town Snowball. And then they're like, "Wow, we got to write this history down. This is important stuff." And then
It sounds like it was founded by 7-year-olds.
It may have been.
We need to remember this snowball fight forever.
I mean, it honestly, true. Sincerely, I wish I was there. I'm gonna miss snow. It sucks that it's like canceled or whatever because it's white.
Yeah. Damn, you
also,
couldn't snow today.
Also, the earth is burning, but you know, whatever.
I mean, in this case, that's good. In this case, I like that. Enough of this honky weather.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna steal that in the winter. As soon as it's winter, I'm gonna be like, "Damn, it's real honky out today." Am I right, folks?
I call winter white boy summer.
Nice.
Thank you.
Anyway, it is currently August 7th. Donda has not dropped. I am furious. I feel like I'm the only person who knew that it wasn't going to come out. People, they were real convinced. I don't know if you've been following. Yeah, Arthur has been following. He gets it.
My microphone stopped, or my headphones stopped working.
Yeah, I noticed. It's fine. Nobody's listening to this part. This is the part where I talk about Kanye West. Everyone tunes out.
This is basically your ad section.
It's our ad. We're just advertising an album that will never come out and does not exist.
I don't know.
He played it in totality on August 5th to a stadium of people, live streamed to millions of computers. I don't think it exists. I'm convinced that it's not real.
I not to encourage you to talk about this more because
Okay, I'm sorry.
no, I'm saying, I guess personally, just selfishly, I want to encourage you because I don't know anything about this. I sort of stopped paying attention after the Jesus thing, like the Jesus turn.
Oh, this
Uh,
is this is his best era.
that is just, it's hard for me to believe.
Yeah, people are not into it. But his most recent album, Jesus is King, honestly, sincerely, nobody likes this take. Sincerely, in my opinion, top three.
Wow.
I love it. It's a great album. So for the uninitiated, July 23rd, 2020, Kanye announced that he was dropping an album named Donda, which is his mother's name, dedicated to his dead mother. How sweet. Um, and then July 23rd comes. He doesn't say anything. The album doesn't come out. Nothing happens. Like 2 months goes by, and then like Kim Kardashian is like, "Oh, by the way, the album's not out," and you're like, "Yeah, thanks, Kim, Kimberly, Kim, if you're listening, I love you. Please DM me. I've been asking you to DM me on Twitter for 8 years now."
Is she single now?
I think she's getting back with Kanye. Personally, I think that's in the cards.
That's nice.
Yeah, I would love that for them. Honestly, they're a good couple.
You kind of can't lose because it's, you get to you get to be happy for Kanye if they get back together, but if they break up, then she's back on the market.
It's true. Yeah, so didn't come out, and then July 23rd, 2021, he was like, "By the way, album's coming out, Donda," and I was like, "No, it's not. That's not happening. Don't lie to me." Because I've been a fan of him for a long time, and that's what he does. He lies. He doesn't tell the truth. I don't know if he knows that that's a sin, but like, not supposed to be doing that. Um, so he lied about it, and then he was like, "Okay, but like for real, 2 weeks from now, August 6th, it's coming." Um, it's not. It's not Kanye. And everybody on Twitter was like, "For real though, like I knew it wasn't coming last year, like it's way too soon, but like now the timing feels right." And I'm like, "It's not coming." Everyone was convinced, and I was like, "No, this you cannot convince me that this album exists until I am 7 tracks deep, and it's not real." So, fuck you, Kanye, first and foremost.
Uh, did you
That's it.
listen to the stream?
No, I'm preserving my ears until the album is actually done.
Mm.
Because otherwise, um, I don't know. It's not his artistic vision if it's not done.
I think I relate to the idea of a creative process that is just kind of just waiting for a manic episode to strike
Yeah,
and
that's
just telling people it's on its way.
it's coming. I can feel it.
I can feel my mental state declining.
It's like there's so much pressure, and people are so mad at him for lying twice now that he's got to spiral soon. Um, but allegedly, it's like an hour and 20 minutes, his longest album to date. Which after his last three being less than 30 minutes, pretty cool.
Really, the last three were 30. I wait.
He did Yay, his self-titled Yay,
Yeah.
and then Kids See Ghosts, which was the
Okay.
collab with Child Cuddy,
Yeah,
and
I
then
didn't.
Jesus is King is like 27, I think.
I forgot to count Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah, it's a collab.
Did you grow up around like a lot of Christianity?
I grew up around a lot of Eminem fans, if that gives you an idea.
Okay.
I grew up hearing a lot of Limp Bizkit. Is that
Yeah, I mean, I
does
think
that
everyone,
cover?
every child of the '90s did.
All right, it's fair. No, I didn't grow up around any religion really. I had to ask my mom when I was 11. I was like, "What are we? Are we Jewish?" And she was like, "No, we are not Jewish. Don't ever say that."
We wish.
She informed me that we were Protestant, and I was like, "Okay." And the only time I've been to church is when I got tricked. I
Okay.
was told I was going to my cousin's house for an Easter party, and then we just went to church, and then we went home. And
The
I was like,
ultimate Easter party.
you could have just told me, like, it's fine. I didn't even really want to go to my cousin's house anyway. Like, you could, I don't want to go anywhere. Just tell me the truth.
That's a really strange lie. But I
It is a strange lie.
being around I know that you were not a toddler, but just being around a toddler like all the time, you come to appreciate how much you just need to,
Yeah.
if not outright lie, then just misrepresent what is happening basically all the time so that they will not flip the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Yeah, they hate reality.
Yeah. And they're right.
It's true. I also hate children. I've been railing on this for a couple weeks now. I hate children. They're just awful creatures.
I
I don't want them to exist.
I get that. And I tend to agree. I like
Sorry
my
to your
little
nephew.
I like my little nephew. He's cool.
Yeah.
But also it is weird to see stuff in him that like just is on its surface kind of obnoxious to me, and then I just realize like, oh, that's just the beginning of a bad habit that I have.
Yeah.
That's why.
This is exactly what I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I hate them.
It's like he gets a lot of positive reinforcement for his nickname is Bubba. So he'll do something like rude and then he'll go, silly Bubba. And it was great. And it's still pretty great. But then he'll just keep doing it. He'll like hammer the bit into the ground.
Yeah.
It's like I
not...
feel myself doing that. And it makes me mad.
Yeah. I frequently will play off all of my shortcomings with humor.
Yeah. Silly Bubba.
Yeah.
Skilly, well, you get it.
Yeah, I get it. That's the funny part of the bit.
Yeah, why would I finish
You don't need the surrounding parts of. That's why all my favorite jokes are just punchlines.
Yeah,
What if a comedian just went on stage and just only said the punchlines?
Wasn't there kind of like a song like that in the Pop Star movie, the Andy Samberg?
Never Stop, Never Stopping?
Yeah. I just rewatched that. That's a good movie.
I believe that it's a good movie. I saw it once in theaters again. Not in the UFO theater. I was too adult for that.
Had to put away childish things.
And watch a movie by Andy Samberg.
In a regular movie theater.
Yeah. A mature movie theater.
In an art house cinema.
I've been to one, I will call it an art house cinema. It was just a movie theater with a piano in the lobby.
Yeah, there was I know I said there were 2 theaters, but there were actually 3. Because one of them in my hometown.
We try and forget about that one.
Well, the smaller theater used to be a morgue. Like
okay. Weird transition.
Yeah, it was a church and then a morgue and then an art theater.
You know what? That's actually cool.
It was all right. I saw the Tree of Life there.
Interesting.
And The Room.
The Tommy Wiseau film?
Yeah, the Tommy Wiseau joint.
Right, the vehicle.
He's sort of
Do
the white. Do
people still call them vehicles?
Uh,
Like if you're a movie exec, and you're like, we need a Vin Diesel vehicle.
it's the kind of word I bet that it's still used when a film critic just needs another way to say movie.
Yeah. I
I just,
hate that about articles, that they always have to use like a different word.
one thing I just don't have like Microsoft Word. I've been using Pages because I'm on a Mac, and
Okay.
I appreciate that I do not have the option of right clicking a word and just going down to the synonyms uh, bar.
I I hate that I can't do that sometimes, just like in real life.
Oh,
I just want to sound smart.
oh, I'll still Google that shit all the time, but I mean, it's not. It's just a little bit less accessible.
Yeah.
I have to
I think
confront.
that's growth. Just
Thank
like
you.
just a horrible habit, make it slightly less accessible, and acceptable. Um, I think you're on your way to adulthood.
That's the nicest thing I've heard in a long time.
You're welcome. I meant it sincerely.
And that is my strategy with all bad habits, which is to keep doing them, but just make my life a little worse
Yeah,
every time
I
I indulge.
I do frequently. Well, I don't know if I do it on purpose. Maybe I do. I went through a long phase where I was like, what if I just don't do anything that I enjoy, but I still indulge?
Hmm.
That's how I got addicted to Coke Zero.
I feel like I've been in that for about 3 or 4 years.
People don't get it. People are not on board. I'm like, yeah, I go to a restaurant and I look at their drink fridge and I say, I would like a Coke Zero, please. And then I drink it and I go, I don't like this beverage at all. And then I do it again the next day.
Yeah, it's the kind of it's like if you go without it for a bit, you can just like, and then you have one, you can just get kind of a glimpse of what it's like to enjoy it just from
No, I
the.
can't.
No, you can't even if you
No.
stop for 2 days. My issue is
But
that I just drink it every day, so it's just
yeah,
um I've grown accustomed to it.
yeah. I drink it every day, but like I've never liked it. Like when I first started getting it, I was like, I don't like this. This is not a flavor that I enjoy. They have drinks that I do enjoy. I will not get them. It was like it was a punishment for indulging. I wasn't concerned about calories.
In what I've been doing lately in like just general meetings, I kind of can't help myself. I will just treat the like whatever development executive I'm speaking with. I'll just sort of treat them like a therapist.
Yeah,
And believe it or not, it has not worked. But I was just talking with someone about how like I will I will watch stuff I just don't enjoy because if I watch something I was enjoying, it would feel like
recreation.
yeah, and I wanted it needs to feel like work.
Yeah. Like I don't want to actually do something, but I still want to feel like I've been working.
Yeah. So let's just do something slightly bad.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. I used to brush my teeth with baking soda because it tasted disgusting.
Hmm.
I was like, this is extremely like less pleasant than using flavored toothpaste. And when I did the switch, I brushed my teeth like 4 times a day. I was like,
Wow. I mean, I think there's probably some value in that. It's like taking
yeah, it's,
people take cold showers because you get something unpleasant out of the way, and then you have the rest of your day.
which is
Um,
also unpleasant.
oh yeah,
You know who had an unpleasant day?
who?
This Austrian man that I have pulled up an article about. This happened. I don't know when it happened, but the article was uploaded June 16th, 2020.
Is this about Hitler?
This
Is
is
this
about Hitler.
this is the downfall episode?
The bad boy this week is Hitler. Uh, Now, a lot of people think that he was a bad guy, but he doesn't get a lot of credit. He did kill Hitler. It's pretty pretty big deal.
He did what the rest of the world couldn't.
Everyone's like, if I had supernatural abilities, if I could go back in time, He did it.
Boy, someone beat you to it, and you're not gonna like who.
Just a BuzzFeed clickbait article. You'll never believe who killed Hitler. Uh, anyway, this is not Hitler. This is an Austrian man. So this is from last year, June 16th. I don't know if you remember last year around June. Things were a little rough.
That's not my memory of it, but go ahead.
A lot of discontent in the world. So this man, he was fined. And what do you imagine this man's crime was as an Austrian? I just want you to guess.
I'm trying to think of what an Austrian would do wrong, and nothing is coming to mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
It was a fine, so it can't have been.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
I am going to guess that he had sex with a cop.
That's illegal.
Hey, it's a different culture.
He was fined by Black Lives Matter. Didn't say he was fined by the government.
It's a suggested fine. It's non-binding.
It's like a citizen's arrest, but a citizen fining. That's a good bit. I could get on board with that.
Just start handing out tickets.
Citizen's parking ticket. Just payable. Just write the check payable to cash. So he was fined for farting with full intent at police.
Oh, so I was half right.
Yep. A real ACAB move, if you ask me. So he was charged 500 euros, which is like, I don't know, $650, $700.
Wow.
For breaking wind loudly and intentionally in front of a police officer.
And that was his charge.
That was his charge, yeah.
Specifically as a crime.
It was allegedly offending public decency.
Pretty broad. I bet he could fight that.
Yeah, they alleged that the man behaved provocatively and uncooperatively during an encounter with officers that preceded the fart.
Is there video?
There's not video. According to officials, the man stood up from a park bench, looked at the police nearby, and let go a massive intestinal wind, apparently with full intent. And our colleagues don't like to be farted at so much.
So it doesn't sound like he pointed toward them.
He just looked them in the eye, I guess. And they're like, you know what? No, you're going to jail. And then they realized they couldn't arrest him fully. I'm like, give us $500. Just like, I don't like. There is a picture of a man being handcuffed, but I think it's just a stock photo.
That's I would like to know how that turned out. I feel like the Austrian ACLU should get involved. This is not right.
What race do you think this man was, huh? I have no idea. It does not say, which means he's white. Yeah, who's to say? So that's my crime. That's it. It was a full 2 minutes of story.
That's a good crime. I support this man. I will be starting a bail fund.
It's a GoFundMe.
Yeah. I would never disrespect a cop, though.
I would.
That's insane. I'm gonna.
I disrespected my school cop. Did you have a school cop?
No, we had a chubby little security guard.
We had real police officers that they must have fucked up real bad. They're like, you're on high school duty, dude. It was probably a traffic cop that they're just like, look, you suck.
And they were like permanently, or at least like for a long time, assigned to.
Yeah,
Oh, oh
like
no.
daily 8 to 4 in the school, and like there's not a lot to do. Like at lunchtime, there's an hour where kids are a little bit rambunctious, but for the most part, they're just like sitting in math class, not learning algebra. I wish I said sitting in English class, not learning algebra. It's always a better joke. Um, yeah, so one of them was like, I'm really bored. Do you want to skip your next class and I'll just like sign off for you that like you were talking to the police? And I was like, whatever, dude. Um, and then he just spent like 45 minutes telling me about surfing, and I was like, you have to shut up, dude. I'm missing math class.
That's
Legitimately, it was math class. To talk to you about surfing.
that's incredible. I mean, it's
Yeah,
obviously very boring, but that's
yeah,
that's pretty chill,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then I left, and then I ran into my math teacher immediately after math class ended, and she was like, "You're here, but you like just missed my class. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I was talking to the police, real serious business." And she was like, "Oh, okay,
You
that's fine."
punch your palm. You said it.
Am I threatening her?
Yeah,
I was with the
I
police,
was talking to the
idiot,
police about a murder I committed.
and I got away with it.
Yeah, for killing a teacher.
It's a future thought crime, actually.
Of not being interested in surfing.
Yeah. Uh, Surfing kind of sucks. Let's be real, right, folks?
I have a hard time getting on board with a sport that is so
Nice,
dependent
dude.
on. Oh,
On
thank you.
board.
I have a hard time hanging 10 on a sport that is so dependent on the weather. Maybe it's just that's a result of like being from Oregon and the weather just being insane and just like unpredictable all the time. But
What's a sport that's not dependent on the weather? Curling?
yeah, shot put, basketball, uh
Anything indoors, I guess.
yeah.
Golf.
I was just looking at photos of professional shot putters, like mid shot put, and they're
Yeah.
very funny. Also, the
They're
world,
strong.
they're, you know, not enough people are saying this. These guys are strong as hell.
We should really acknowledge them with a medal if they're strong.
It doesn't have to be like a gold medal. I mean, for the best one, obviously. You want to
Only
give.
one, though.
Otherwise, it
Top,
means
top
nothing.
2, not gold. That's pretty fucked up, actually. Top 2 is still really good.
It's very impressive. Well, I just found out how much American like gold medal winners, like how much money they get if they win a gold medal.
It's like $20,000.
Yeah, like Italy pays like I don't know something like the equivalent of like $600,000. Likely that's because they win so few. It's like they don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it that much. But still, feels like for the emphasis we put on like Olympic dominance in the U.S. and also the emphasis we put on getting rich. Seems like
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah. It's Jeff Bezos doing, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Simone Biles. We got to talk about Simone Biles. Something happened. I don't really know.
Did it ever? And I don't
Uh,
really know either. But oh
my
man,
understanding is my
I'm pissed.
understanding is that she's black, folks, and the Olympics didn't take too kindly to that. I guess I'm not really sure. Pretty
Yeah,
sure John Olympic wasn't into it. So
I gotta say, if the allegations are true that she is, in fact, African American, and the Olympics were not okay with that, that actually sucks. And I think that we should consider taking action. Back to you, Skill.
Um, yeah. Honestly, if that's true, and I believe that it is, I disagree.
If it's true, it's good. And if it's not, then it should be.
Uh, um, I don't know how to look this up. I just googled Simone Biles. My understanding is she's too good at Olympics to be in the Olympics. That's the actual truth of it.
Mm.
They were like, you're good and nobody else is, so don't do it. And then she said, I don't want to do the Olympics anymore. And everyone's like, wow, what are you, black? It's unrelated.
And you're quoting from this article you found?
Yeah, this is from people.com,
Oh, wow.
where they have an article on every person. Like there's an article on Simone Biles, an article on Huey Newton,
What does it say
Boy
about
George, Man George. Really,
different
the
people?
whole
Not just one is not just
yeah.
like
Man George is his younger brother.
That's so interesting.
What about Girl George and she's trans?
Dan, that would rule.
I know absolutely nothing about Boy George. You thought I knew nothing about Simone Biles?
I,
Oof.
I know he got in trouble for a bathroom incident, but beyond that,
I think that's Pee Wee Herman.
I thought he was a theater incident.
I
Was
think
it?
that's the guy I just read an article about from Austria. He got in trouble for a bathroom incident.
Yeah, that was the official crime.
Yeah, I think it's illegal to go to the bathroom, right?
I mean, in this climate, might as well be. I have a crime that I don't think I've referred to
Not
on the show. Hey, who
not yet.
knows? I mean, like before, like in previous
Okay.
episodes.
Okay.
But did you read about when Uma Thurman was?
Absolutely not. But go on.
She had I forget if it was an interview. I don't think she wrote an article, but there was some interview where she expressed that she was upset with Quentin Tarantino because years previously, when they were filming Kill Bill, he had her do her own stunt in a car, and it was this like blue convertible, this very specific like I should look up what kind of car it was, but it was a blue convertible.
Okay.
And she got apparently pretty badly injured. And was very upset with Quentin Tarantino for having had her do the stunt. Now, my friend is the daughter of a guy who directed like a TV show in the 80s, and he lives across the street.
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, yes. He directed the TV show American Sniper, which
Okay.
inspired Chris Kyle to become America's favorite bloodthirsty gunman.
I thought that was Chris Dorner.
Close second.
I'm not going to just continue to name shooters. I wanted to. For the record, I did want to, but I will abstain.
I was trying to think of another Chris, another murderous Chris, but
Chris
Watts.
Evans murders my patience.
Oh, because he's killing all those kids.
Yeah.
He's the Grim Reaper for children.
Is there? You think people call Jesus Chris sometimes? Just as like a fun nickname.
Yeah, you mean in heaven, or casually? Like
Casually, they're like, "Hey, Chris, can you build me a sofa?"
Chris T.
Chris T. Yamaguchi.
Hell
You
yeah.
imagine just like telling someone from the Bible that people with the last name Yamaguchi exist? They'd lose their fucking mind, dude.
They would stop believing in God.
Uh, I don't know what that bit is. I think it's extremely racist. There's nothing wrong with the last name Yamaguchi, but I think people from the Bible would think that there is.
I mean, probably if you told people from the Bible about the last name Smith, they would think it was equally insane.
Why don't you just have a normal last name like Baccharatus?
Yeah. Hammurabi.
Not from the Bible. He did.
He's from the
He
Fertile
did.
Crescent.
I did a presentation on Hammurabi in my law class in high school, and I had to clarify it to the class, like his name's Hammurabi, but he's not a Hebrew rabbi, and nobody thought it was funny. I was like, "This is fun wordplay, right, folks?" And everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Just tell me about his stupid rules about eye for an eye.
The man loved rules
Famously, he loved
so
rules.
much that he wrote them down.
Anytime he was talking about rules, he would smile. That's how I know.
He was the first guy to think to write down a rule.
Before that, people just had word of mouth, and they're like, "It's really easy to get gaslit if you don't write things down."
Yeah. I'm gonna make this zine.
The first e-zine, the Code of Hammurabi.
But my friend lives across still, or her parents still do live across the street from Quentin Tarantino,
Okay.
and purely by coincidence, my my friend's dad owned what was, make and model. It was not the same literal car, but it was the exact. It was not like the physically same car, but it was the same exact make and model and color.
Like an evil twin.
Yeah.
Or I guess the good twin.
Yeah. The car that Uma Thurman had crashed in. And shortly after the filming of Kill Bill 2, I'm not exactly sure when that was, but it was the timeline works out.
Okay.
My friend's dad's car was torched.
Interesting.
By an anonymous assailant, and nobody knows why. And so when the story came out years later about this injury that Uma Thurman had, there was plenty of speculation.
A lot of dots to connect.
Yes. That it may have been... Yeah. Well, really, yeah, there's two dots.
There are two specific dots of information.
There's speculation that a hired goon
Okay, interesting. That's a third dot.
burned this car thinking it belonged to Quentin Tarantino. But there's no confirmation, and the story's ongoing. So
yeah, the police are still on it.
They're so close.
Did you share with the police station this information that you have gleaned from your years of research on the subject?
I went down there with a big fat briefcase.
Just full of old newspapers.
And I said, "Listen up, you fucking pigs. I'm about to blow this case wide open."
Yeah.
Then I was talking about OJ, but then I sort of, once I got through all that, presenting my information.
Which side were you on OJ?
I just wanted everybody to have a good time.
So guilty. I think.
Hey, if that's what you wanted, then that's what I want.
I think that he's innocent. I've gone on record on a redacted, retconned episode that I think OJ is innocent. And I will also go on record again, clarifying It was not OJ. It was his son Jason.
I've read
I will die on that hill.
I've read some compelling speculation about that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Uh, uh, but I'm just a huge fan of the Juice, and I love the Naked Gun series.
Yeah.
Um,
You did mention.
yeah, I'm established. I've laid
Yeah.
the groundwork. You've got to
Yeah.
believe me.
Uh,
I
I
love
don't think I've
OJ.
ever seen it.
Oh, really? Have you seen the clip of OJ from the first one,
Spiking a
especially?
baby.
Um,
I saw OJ spiking an infant into the ground like a football.
I like
Um,
that. I don't remember that, but it's very. Is that from the?
there's that is from Naked Gun. One of them. Um, I watched it in film school. I went to film school, and we were shown Battleship Potemkin.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Battleship
Oh
Potemkin?
yeah, one of the famous movie babies in danger.
Yeah, that's the fuck is it? Sergei Eisenstein. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Sergei Eisenstein, locked in there. Um, yeah, there's a staircase scene in Battleship Potemkin, which gets referenced in one of the Naked Gun movies. There's a carriage, a stroller, going down the insanely long steps, and there's a shootout at the end of the scene. OJ saves the baby that was going to crash after falling down all the steps, and then he's so excited that he spikes the baby into the ground, and it dies. Good
Wow.
bit, honestly.
So
That's the only information I know about that film series.
so in film school they showed you the original, and then they showed you how it's been perfected
Yeah.
over time.
Yes. They're like, look, this is how you might start out. You might start out as a Sergei Eisenstein type, but
You might
you'll
not
grow.
even you might not even know how to film in color.
Yeah. But you will grow into a real David Zucker. Honestly, my ideal director.
I looked up OJ Naked Gun because I wanted to send you the a clip of OJ, but all the image results are censored
That's fair.
because the gun is nude.
Right. Okay. David Zucker, I'm looking at his filmography. Good stuff in here.
Yeah, An American Tail.
Basketball, classic movie. Scary Movie 5.
Are you familiar with his rightward turn?
I am not. I see that he directed Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5, and then nothing since 2013, and TBA Spaghetti versus Noodle. So, high hopes for that one.
Yeah, I can't wait till that's announced. An American Carol, excuse me. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is David Zucker.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did do that one.
It's his Michael Moore takedown.
I see that based on the cover.
Perfectly timed in 2008.
I mean, that is around the time.
I guess. It feels, I guess, after like Bowling for Columbine.
Yeah, Michael Moore kind of fell off.
Yeah. Anyway, the trailer is a real bummer.
Can't imagine why. When did it came out in 2002? So I would have been 10. My parents rented Bowling for Columbine from Blockbuster, and we watched it together. I didn't understand anything. I didn't know what Columbine was. I was 10. My parents didn't teach me about that. They're just like, guns don't exist, son.
See, my parents couldn't get enough of it. They loved it.
Yeah, so we watched the movie, and then we fell asleep. And then, if you remember DVDs, they just loop the menu screen forever. And I just woke up not knowing how to turn off the DVD player and just hearing "Take the Skinheads Bowling" for like 45 minutes. And I was like, I don't know what this means, but I think it's infecting my brain.
Yeah, how formative do you think that is?
Oh, I still remember it. So,
I watched the Oscars at my like middle school Republican friend's house, and they all like his whole family booed Michael Moore uh,
interesting.
during his anti-Iraq war Oscar acceptance speech, and I almost started crying.
You were pro Iraq at the time, or
I was a little lib. I was a little coastal lib.
I'm sorry that you had to live through that phase. I'm glad you're past it.
I was just upset at all these Hollywood phonies.
Yeah, a real Ricky Gervais take. Also a coastal lib.
Take it back.
You are different than Ricky Gervais.
Thank you.
That's all it takes. That's the nicest thing now. Yeah, that's all I got. We talked about everything.
Yeah, we covered it. We're really good podcasters.
We're great. We don't need Coach.
Hey, Coach. Fuck you.
Got him. He's not listening. Yeah, subscribe to the Patreon.
I did it,
It's true. He did it. I saw his name.
and I've never been happier.
Have you consumed any of the content?
I'm getting to it.
You know, you don't need to give us money, but I do appreciate it.
I support creators.
It's true. I
Give your money to Skillshy.
Yes. I need it because, as we discussed, I do not have a job. In a weird twist of events, if you recall our previous conversation where I was just like absolutely losing my mind imagining working at a cheese factory, I have applied to a cheese factory.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I would love to get that job. I'd love to make cheese.
Do
I
you...
think that's
Sorry, please.
I think that's ideally the career move. The next logical step.
I'm curious about the smell. How would it make you smell? How would the factory smell? I mean, you get used to it, but then what kind of smells are you bringing home?
Yeah, that is a bit of a concern.
But then maybe candy factories also produce a smell.
Yeah, that's for sure. I also used to work at a soap factory. That was also... I have very odorous jobs, which is good because then like I don't need to like put on deodorant, so I'm just gonna smell like sugar anyway. Just gonna smell like cheese.
Yeah, you could. I mean, if you wanted to, you could get a deodorant that complements it, like a salty deodorant. It smells salty and
Do you
sweet.
think they make that?
I think they make basically everything. You check Goop for a salt deodorant.
Let's do some investigative journalism right now.
Salt.
It exists, folks. Ball deodorant. Salt and Stone Brain Dead Edition. That's up my alley. I don't know, dude. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I just love, like, all products are all right with me.
Just all of them.
I just love products.
Do you have a product idea? Like, if you're going to be an inventor, do you have an idea that you'll just never use that we could give to the ether?
When I used to, like, watch Rugrats, you know, because Tommy Pickles' dad was an inventor, even as, like, a little kid, it always made me really insecure that I never had any invention ideas.
You've never had an invention idea? I'm going to throw out some ideas that I have that I think would make great money. I just got a very weird email. Okay, so here's one idea. Scented Kleenex.
I think they make that.
but it's prank Kleenex and it smells really bad,
I mean, you
right?
could any product that smells like anything, you could just make a prank. Actually, that explains a lot of products to me.
Yeah,
Like a lot of novelty products that basically there's a category of thing that you can then make bad.
just make any bad thing and then
Yeah.
just label it prank. Uh, Here's another one: flavored latex gloves for dentists.
Hmm. I'm not
Right?
mad at that
See, it's a good
because
idea.
they're already flavored like latex.
Yeah. Imagine, like, when they're like, what flavor fluoride do you want? Mint or bubble gum or like chocolate covered donut? You're just like, I don't know if these flavors mean anything. They all taste disgusting. Imagine that, but it's the gloves that are in your mouth for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they really have not cracked the code
They have
on the
flavored
flavors.
condoms.
They do. They certainly do. With the
I've never
latex.
tasted them, but I think they have good reviews.
Oh, are you checking the reviews?
No, but I could. I just think in my brain, I think that that's gone over well, that people enjoy that they're flavored. They're like, yeah,
Uh,
strawberry, put it in my mouth.
in the case of the dentist gloves, if they could find a way to make them like taste more like latex, that'd be great. Because it's always
Yeah.
very the dentist always has to tell me to stop licking his finger.
Yeah, I guess that would be weird. They're just like, wow, this tastes really good. And they just like suck on their dentist fingers.
But if it was a more intense flavor, I wouldn't have to work so hard for it.
Yeah. You
Just
know,
fold my tongue around his
I
around his
stand by
digit.
it. I stand by it. It's a good idea. Um, uh, that's all you get. I have other ideas. You're not going to get them. I might use them one day.
Now it's really fucking me up that I feel like I should have even just bad invention ideas just on the tip of my tongue. But
Yeah.
I just shut down when things start to actually. You know what? That's probably why I'm not successful as an artist because the moment things actually need to be practical, even slightly,
Yeah.
they need to have some application or appeal to anyone. My brain throws a tantrum.
That's an art style. You could work for, I don't know, capitalists.
I I think the opposite is true.
Like if you were like a city planner and you're just like, look, we need to have this to just like be inaccessible to anybody. They'd be like, oh, good, it's anti-homeless. That's what we want.
Oh yeah. No, I when I first
Just
saw
hostile architecture.
when I first saw the healthcare.gov website, I thought, like, did I make this?
You
Because
may have.
that's what I think whenever I see something that sucks.
That's a little depressing. It's about as depressing as my realization is. I like anything until I realize I was involved in creating it. Like if I had like a voice changer on this podcast and I listened to it, I'd be like, this is good. This is fun. And then the voice changer goes away. And I'm like, oh, that's me. I fucking hate this.
You must hate your dreams.
I do. It's
Like
like
you're
all my
having a good
ambitions are
time,
nightmares.
having a
Um,
good time, and then you realize that like it's all coming from a source that you hate.
yeah. Like the more, because I make music, the more I improve at music, I'm like, one day I'll be as good as other people who make worse music than I do. But I just think that there's like a level of skill where it'll sound like I didn't make it. That's
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be doing that.
No, I get that. That
You're
you
supposed to be embracing the unique quality that you bring that only you can have. And I'm like, that's the part that sucks. If this sounded more formulaic, it would be better.
Yeah, this needs to transcend me
Yeah.
because I am not working.
Yeah. That's sad. Here's another invention idea. This, here's an app idea. Now, I've told this to several people. They have all told me it's an awful idea.
Okay.
So you can transfer music through Bluetooth, any files, right? And let's say you're on the New York subway. You don't have access to Wi-Fi or data. But if you have this app, it connects your Bluetooth to other people's Bluetooths, and you can listen to their saved music.
There was like a Wi-Fi equivalent to that back before like music streaming where you just like hook up, it was like a big dorm thing. You just hook up everyone's iTunes libraries to each other.
Yeah, that sounds right. But this is for phones.
Oh, this sounds like it's more applicable to like the current day.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm unaware of this. I did not live in a dorm, but
oh, you're missing out.
yeah, I dropped out of film school. I didn't have a chance to live in a dorm.
You just learned all you needed to know.
Specifically, I didn't learn anything that I needed to know to pass the class. I watched Battleship Potemkin for about 3 minutes, and then I watched The Naked Gun for about 3 minutes.
You watched Battleship Potemkin and you were like, damn, this sucks. Then you watched The Naked Gun on your phone.
And I was like, hell yeah, dude. This is it.
This is the future.
This is the blueprint to make movies. Like, I don't need the school. And my film projects don't get any funding at the moment, but that's fine. Yeah.
I also went to film school and took about, I think 2 film classes, and somehow was allowed to graduate.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's honestly, you did it.
Minimal effort, maximum reward.
A degree that has gotten you nothing. I assume.
Nothing.
I assume because you have nothing.
No,
but also that they do not provide you with that. Like, no producer is going to be like, what was your GPA?
Yeah.
Film school kind of is just watching movies.
Yeah, it really was a daycare in a way that I wish that I had recognized at the time, because it would have saved quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Film school is like every day you have a substitute teacher.
They just throw a video on.
You're just watching Bill Nye in film school. That's kind of a good bit. What happens when you have a substitute teacher in film school?
Yeah, they
thinking wistfully.
teach you math.
They do real education. You know what I think? There should be a class in every college that like it has a generic name. Like it's called Communications 102. And it's just like group therapy. I think they should trick people. They should trick people into doing therapy.
I feel like I should have done like just like painting or like just fine art in college.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I imagine the upper level like fine art classes.
It's just therapy with an easel in front of you.
Yeah, you just you look at nude people standing very still, and then try not to betray how horny you are with your with your sketches.
Yeah, that's a culture. I'm not gonna say which one, but that's a culture. I think we all know. That's the episode. We were supposed to wrap, and I went on a tangent as I do.
That's all right. I like podcasting.
Me too, dude. That's why I do it, because I'm like, as soon as this is over, my day is done, and then I don't get to do anything fun until Tuesday.
What's on Tuesday?
We're recording again.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's why I started a Patreon, so I could just record more, and then people actually paid. It's wild.
Huge mistake.
Now it feels like a job, and now I don't want to do it. I'm contractually obligated. I just like keep doing crimes. We'll just find a new crime.
Sure.
We'll do a 4-hour episode.
I was
happens.
They've talked about this on other podcasts, so it's not something I would like harp on. But there's a detail that I haven't heard mentioned. You know, Don Simpson.
Don Lemon?
No, Don Lemon spoke at my graduation.
I'm sorry.
So did Jay Leno. Jay Leno and Don Lemon. The two Lems.
Two sides of the same coin.
Don Simpson produced a lot of movies with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Okay.
He was also addicted to a number of drugs that sounds made up. And he didn't want to go through a traditional. There's a whole saga, and he eventually died. But
R.I.P.
R.I.P. There was a whole saga where he didn't want to go to a traditional rehab, so he hired a doctor to come live with him.
Yeah, and as you do.
A short time into the doctor's stay in his guest house, the doctor died of an overdose.
On what?
In the house. Let me see.
Not that it matters, but is it something that he brought, or is it something that he's just like, oh, you got this?
Simpson refused to admit himself into a traditional rehab facility. In 1995, he employed Dr. Stephen Ammerman, blah, 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 had a history of drug abuse himself. Ammerman designed what has been called a dangerously unorthodox detox program, which included several medications, including morphine, for Simpson to take. On August 15th, 1995, Ammerman was found dead in the shower of the pool house at Simpson's estate. Was later determined he died of an accidental overdose of cocaine, Valium, venlafaxine, and morphine.
So this is stuff that he brought, presumably.
Yes, to treat addiction.
In 1995? I mean, I thought we figured out cocaine was bad in, 1989.
I figured out it was bad in about 2019.
Better late than so on and so forth. I went to find another crime to continue this bit, and I was like, what about podcast crimes? And I Googled that, and there's a lot of true crime podcasts. So I forgot that that's a thing, even though I'm currently at this moment hosting one.
You should do a Dirty John reaction podcast.
I should not do a podcast anymore. I think this is the last episode.
Oh, well, it was an honor.
Thank you.
Also, I just realized that mine was not a crime. Well, kind of. It was illegal to have those things.
Drugs are bad. They're a no-no. So here's something interesting. I think that we can both relate to this one. Related to podcast crimes on Google, people also ask, what is the most disturbing podcast? Number 1, the most disturbing podcast, The Clown and the Candyman.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Is that as far as you've gotten?
That's the list, baby. And I feel like that's at least it's me. This is about John Wayne Gacy. I guess I should have figured that out.
Yeah, that did not occur to me either. It sounded like a sort of a buddy thing.
A buddy cop movie,
yeah.
With John Wayne Gacy.
Thelma and Louise for the boys.
I don't think we have that. Or is that every other movie? Is every other movie Thelma and Louise for the boys?
Where just
I just
two guys kill their wives and go on a road trip.
that's like kind of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, kind of. Yeah. That's a really good point. Score one for the boys.
I mean, then we're just even with Thelma and Louise. It's really a one-all game.
I'm looking to get ahead.
That's what Kevin Spacey said in Seven. Also Thelma and Louise for the boys. Right?
He also, I think, said that to several production assistants on that movie. I'm looking to get ahead.
Yeah.
That was my Kevin Spacey impression.
It was great. I could
you.
tell exactly who it was with the southern accent.
Oh, what is this, a PS Vita? Got to get one of these for the car. That's a line. That's a real line from House of Cards.
Weird. You sounded very much like a 1930s mobster.
Well, I'm not an impressionist.
Yeah, you are not.
I'm a professional podcaster.
You are different than Robbie Goodwin.
And once again, I'm going to need you to take that back.
You don't want to be different?
I would prefer to be the same.
I'm pretty sure Robbie would prefer to not be the same. But in terms of he'd like to be more like you and less like himself.
That's a horrible thing to say. We'll discuss it off air.
Fine. We're gonna end this episode. This is a disaster. You ever watch Disaster Movie with Kim Kardashian?
Oh, I missed that.
I miss when they would do that style of movie, and it just got so out of hand. Like, it started with Scary Movie, which we referenced earlier. And then, like, superhero movie. But then they just got, like, so abstract of, like, epic movie. It's like, what are you even parodying at this point?
Yeah.
It's like, not even a genre.
Yeah. Like, they thought they were identifying a trend just because, like, 3 disaster movies came out within 2 years of each other.
Yeah.
I once, it was the only time I've ever, I smoked a Gravity Bong, and I don't even react to like a small amount of weed well. Definitely in social situations, but just got insanely high and watched Meet the Spartans, and I don't know that I've ever been that sad.
I remember when that trailer came out, people in my school were like interrupting class yelling about how excited they were to see that movie. Like they were watching the trailer on their phone, on speaker, just being like, turning around, being like, yo, this movie looks incredible. There's nothing, I don't even know if it was written. I don't think anybody wrote that movie.
I wouldn't call myself a pro cop guy, but I'm glad there was someone keeping an eye out at your school. Just making sure no one hurt themselves.
I wish they did, honestly.
I have to go to the Natural History Museum soon.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that for you.
That's fine. I go to the crystal section and just hang out. I love crystals.
Interesting.
They're cool as hell. And they heal you, and they're the same as medicine. And I believe that.
I also believe that.
Well, good. Then we don't need to talk about it anymore.
It's kind of like a Wiccan nugget.
Nugget
Wiccans?
in this case.
Being like a rock.
A little thing.
Like a gold nugget. That's a real phrase.
Yeah.
Wiccan rhymes with chicken. Chicken nugget, Wiccan nugget. They're witches.
Fuck. That rules.
Now you're on board.
I didn't.
That's the first time anyone's explained a joke and
Whoa!
someone was on board.
Holy shit! I'm.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm standing up out of my chair right now.
It's a standing ovation of one person not clapping.
Just
They're
freaking
too
out.
awestruck.
My hands have been up in the air this whole time.
Yep. Nailed it. All right. Closing on that brilliant note, I am the funniest man to exist.
I agree.
Thank you. I was trying to see if I could come up with another punchline, but with nothing to go off of, it's kind of hard.
So I should have given you something to work with? Rather than just saying I agree?
I guess. I don't know. I think you're a good foil.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Like, typically comedy duos are straight man, funny man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure because you're the funny one and I'm definitely not straight.
That's
Nothing on that one.
I was distracted by well, what I thought was a compliment.
I did mean it that you are the funny one. I think
I
you're
was
the funniest
processing
person.
how I was going to disagree with you, and so I missed your joke. And I think that does make you the funny one, and it does make me.
The trick to being funny is going over people's heads. I've always
That's
said
true.
that. I mean, that's true for like rap music. If someone's like, "Whoa, I don't understand anything he's saying, but it's probably good," like that's top tier rap music.
I think that was really good for like 4 or
2003.
5 white guys in New York in 2003. That was like ASAP Rock, or Aesop Rock,
Yeah.
definitive
He's
Jux ethos.
Yeah. Def Jux. It's definitive. I was trying to, be cool. Be like, I know what we're talking about.
I was really overselling how much I knew about it. I basically know LP and Aesop Rock.
Yeah, me too. Atmosphere's in there.
Oh yeah, the guy from Linkin Park, way over everyone's heads.
Mike Shinoda, no idea what that dude's fucking talking about. Fucking, but like for real, I have no idea what a Tribe Called Quest is ever saying. They're probably good, right? People like them, Midnight Marauders.
Yeah, I like them. I feel like I'm just so willing to accept that my frame of reference is so thoroughly like white.
Yeah.
That I don't know what is actually like too dense for me to understand and what is just referring to something that I don't know.
Yeah. I learned that there's like so many different words for gun. I listen to rap music. I'm like, what are they talking about? And if they say a word I don't know, I'm just like, what if that meant gun? And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
It's
Makes
weird
sense.
too. There's a comedian named Stuart Lee who I really like, but he like is very just like specifically like just only makes like his references are extraordinarily British, and you just kind of have to roll with it and just appreciate like that you kind of have to pick up on what you're supposed to think of the thing that he's referring to. And I think I probably would not have been as equipped for that if I hadn't spent so much time listening to music that was produced by people with experiences that that had no connective tissue with my own life.
I don't like any music that does connect with me,
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true, but like if I imagine like a white guy talking about like growing up in the suburbs, I'm like, this fucking sucks, dude. Give me Pusha T yelling about commercialism. Just like talk about killing people and buying Gucci. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. If there's one
He
person
doesn't wear Gucci.
if there's one person I want to hear criticize commercialism, it is the man who came up with "I'm Lovin' It."
You know what? It's a good song.
Hey, he knocked
He
it out of the
should do
park.
it. He should do a full version, a 3.5 minute banger. He loves it. You remember when McDonald's like started trying to be urban? And they did that like the McDonald's rap.
No, when was this? What was the?
I don't know, 2005.
I think vaguely. I think maybe. I we were early adopters in my home of TiVo, so I was out of touch with like
No,
commercials. So I apologize.
it's fine.
I'm not the ideal.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was speaking to the 1%.
That's right. Remember that next time. Next time you try to come to me.
I'm sorry. I grew up having to specify white meat chicken nuggets at the drive-thru, and I guess we're just built different at this point.
I was getting French chicken strips.
Yeah.
At,
I grew up, they didn't even have honey dipping sauce. Now that's like a staple there. I don't get it, but I could.
honey mustard or just
No, just honey.
straight honey.
Just honey. Just a little dipping cup of honey.
They had that at KFC, and I was enthusiastic about it.
It's good. Honey chicken.
On that, we can agree. That crosses, 1%, 99%.
I like to often
That's what this
think
podcast
about,
is about.
it's about connecting. We gotta unite. Look, the politicians, they want to divide us. Rich, poor, black, white, gay, other ones.
But
We're all the same.
we all ultimately have the same kind of the same interest, and the same thing is in all of our interests, which is to get rid of the unions.
Yep. Absolutely. I like to think about like millionaires and billionaires have such wildly different lives than I do, but there are things that like it doesn't get different at a certain point. It's just like they have the same McDonald's, you know? Like when Warren Buffett every day gets his fucking, he's like, oh, this stock market had a good day. I'm going to spend 165 on an egg McMuffin. When he does that, he gets the same thing that I do.
That's true. I do wonder how much of that is like specifically kind of like designed to make us feel that way, that we have some connection with people who otherwise share none of our
Yeah, like
anxieties.
he does go home and have 17 bedrooms and 3 indoor pools and a heated curling rink or whatever the fuck he does. I don't know why you would want it to be heated, but
That's a pool, I think.
it's just another pool. Yeah. But like he gets the same Coke Zero. It's the same formula.
That's true. Do you think it tastes any better knowing that
Well, he gets it in a glass bottle, so yeah, it does. I can't really afford that right now.
I mean, you could just get one glass bottle and fill it up. Be Warren Buffett for a day.
Just buy a separate glass bottle. You could find a glass bottle on the street. Just boil it real quick.
Oh.
That's fine.
Living like a rich man now.
You know, ideally, I think Warren Buffett does that sometimes.
Boils a glass bottle.
Yeah, he pours a can of Coke Zero into it. I hate Warren Buffett so much. What an absolute moron.
Yeah.
He has like $100 billion, and he's like, if the stock market has a bad day, like I'm not going all out on McDonald's breakfast. And it's like, just fucking read the room, dude. You're 98 years old.
Shut up, Warren Buffett.
Oh, yeah. I see your nephew. He's running around.
That's my
Hello, Bubba.
that's my nephew Fig.
He's wearing a hat.
My mom is visiting.
Oh, hello, Mom.
Hello.
How are you? She can't hear me, but
I'm going to
it's fine.
text Arthur.
She says she's texting me.
I hear that. Okay. I believe that you are being kicked out
I think
of
so.
the podcast. All right. That's it, everybody. Arthur's fired. He's never coming back. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Patreon.com/badboycrimes. Eat the rich. Goodbye.